Antonio?
Yep.
Leite?
Yes, milk.
Milk?
Yeah, that's the translation. So milk.
So that's what Leite means.
My last name.
The surname.
Really?
My surname is Leite. In Portuguese, it means milk.
Yeah. So
Do you pronounce it Leite or
Leite.
Leite? Yeah.
yeah. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for taking some time out.
Thanks for coming,
and
bro.
talking to us about
Thank you for the invite.
a bit about your life and your walk with the Lord, and however short or long that's been, it's always mystery to unpack how good God is and how He intercepts us where we are and changes us, and that's been it's always a process, I think, change. But so thanks for being here. Maybe just share a little bit about where you're from, your city, your neighborhood, family of origin would be awesome.
Well, I do come from Brazil. My city is the third biggest city in Brazil, like something like Brisbane here. So you got two big ones, Melbourne and Sydney. In Brazil, you got São Paulo and Rio, and you got my city, like would be something like Brisbane, the third biggest city. Not a known city, nothing specific that caught the attention, but nothing.
So it's not a famous city.
No,
What's
but
it
it's
called?
a big city. Belo Horizonte would be like beautiful horizon.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Is it by the beach?
No, there's no beach in my state at all.
Oh, you're right in the middle,
Right in the middle of the country.
and it's the third biggest,
Third biggest city in Brazil.
but not famous.
Not famous.
So is it Fortaleza where Adolfo is from?
Yeah.
So
but
that's famous, right?
that's famous, but it's smaller.
But that's sort of famous for bad stuff too, eh? Like that's dangerous, eh?
Yeah, it's
But
dangerous.
it's beautiful, right?
But it's beautiful, yeah. It
Okay.
has like a lot of tourism, so
Oh yeah.
it's known. Like all along the
Coastline.
coastline,
Yeah.
it will be like known to other people because it has a lot of visitors from other countries.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
so
mine
you're-
is in the middle, doesn't have anything,
No one
nothing
goes there.
special. Yeah.
So how you say it's the third largest? Just for size wise, how many people there?
I think I don't know, man. I think we have around 3 or 4 million people.
Just in that. So
Just
the
in my
size
city,
of
yeah.
Sydney
Mm-hmm.
is the third largest. Because Sao Paulo is how many people?
São Paulo, all the surroundings in São Paulo, it's Australia.
4 million.
21 or 22 million.
Wow. In Sao Paulo.
Just São Paulo. Just the big city, not the state.
And then Rio, how many would be in Rio? 18 million, 17
I don't know how
million?
many in Rio. Gotta check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your city,
Yeah.
3 or 4
to 4
million.
million, yeah.
And is it like compact or it's quite?
Nah, it's everything in Brazil is compact. There's nothing, because it's too much people in the same space. You have a lot of
land.
but if you have a big city, it's just start growing. It's just spreading, but
Okay.
it's like concentrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the same in your city,
Same in my city. So every big city in Brazil will be like that.
right? So you were brought up in that city with mum and dad.
I was born there, but my dad is from way down in the country, a small city, close to a big city. And my mom just went there, had me, and then they came back.
Right.
So it's a small city in the country, but I lived there until I was 3. Then my dad and mom split up, and then I went back to that city.
So
That's where my family is from.
Oh,
Only
yeah.
my dad was from the
okay.
small one.
So your mum went back to be with her family.
Yeah, her dad, mom, and my grandparents at the point, yeah.
Just you?
At this point, yeah. Then my sister
Okay.
came, yeah.
Right.
I was 4 when she came. My dad and mom, they split exactly 6 or 7 months before she was born.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Dad, do you know your dad?
I did met him a few times, even live with him for a year.
Wow.
When I was 15,
Wow.
like the teenager and everything, went live with him. But it wasn't really a relationship that you would say it's a father and son.
Okay.
Never had this kind of relationship with him. Yeah.
Okay.
He
So
was like my hero and everything, but never
just in your mind.
just in my mind. Yeah.
when you went to live with him at 15, did it change him being your hero?
Nah. He would still be, even with, when I look back now, I can see that it was like, he was doing a lot of wrong stuff.
Yeah.
But I was 15. I just idolized him.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Yeah, so not at that point. It took a lot of growing up and getting more mature to understand a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't easy.
No.
He was the only person that I in my mind would get me, would understand me.
Wow.
So it was like he was my hero because he could understand me. No one else could.
But
In my mind.
in
my
your
mind.
mind.
Yeah. No.
Not in reality.
I was
Wow.
young.
Yeah, sure. Wow.
Yeah.
So then, you went to school in your city and with your
How
family.
do I spell your city?
BELO space HORI.
Oh, there
Yeah.
it is.
You found it. Yeah.
Horizonte.
Yes. That's my city.
Oh, 3 million. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yep.
Just see where we are.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, so how long is that from the ocean?
We could get to the ocean in about 7 to 8 hours.
That's
think it'll
7
be
to 8 hours.
It'll be the shortest.
So that's near. That's not far from Capella, Volta
No,
Redonda.
You're
That's,
gonna be real
nah.
there, yeah.
Rio.
You're gonna be around 7 to 8 hours too, maybe a little
Yeah.
bit more.
See where 116 is on the left?
Yeah.
11,
Yeah.
115 maybe.
Oh, there's another.
Yeah.
There's two 116s.
There's probably near where Volta Redonda is, maybe. near there.
See if we can see Volta Redonda.
So were you bought like Catholicism's pretty big?
Oh yeah, my family, well, not practicant. They not go to the service every Sunday or anything,
Okay.
but they are Catholic. Like
Catholic.
yeah. So I was baptized when I was little one. My
And-
sister also,
Okay.
but we never been to. You have the Catholic thing. How does it call when you do first mass and you
Oh,
have
yeah.
certain things that you need to
do.
do it as a Catholic? I never did it before.
Right. You get all not ordained, but you get.
Yeah.
Okay, so every Easter, Christmas.
Oh yeah, my family would celebrate, but so you don't eat meat, red beef, and the how do you say Holy Friday here?
Oh, Good
Easter Friday. Good Friday.
yeah.
Good Friday. Yeah, Good Friday. You don't eat meat at all,
On the Friday.
just fish. Yeah,
Yeah.
and some people do the 40 days.
Oh, Lent.
Yeah. The 40
That's-
days without having drinks, without having alcohol,
Yeah.
red meat, a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my family just the Good Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually.
So-
usually Good Friday.
So God was sort of not
No,
just-
not in a.
not a thought in your head.
No, not at all. Not at all. It
Wow.
was something. I believe in God. I believe in a higher power. I would
Okay.
say that in my mind.
Growing up.
But my mom, it would be like she believed in God, but she would go with other religions too.
Okay.
There was something good in
Ah.
other religions. Oh, I believe in that too. Yeah.
Okay.
It would be something like that. Yeah.
So even with that free speaking, free thinking, was it still quite strict though? Like, no, we shouldn't do this. You can't do that. Or was it
No,
like,
my mom was really in a. She taught me really well about being honest, being a right person.
Right.
So
okay.
she had the right values. So I wouldn't say that I was like not taught right and everything, but she taught me the right values.
Okay.
Since I was young, you need to be honest, you need to understand, and
Wow.
you cannot tell lies. There was something huge in growing up. Doesn't matter whatever you do, tell me. It's better if I know from you than from others. Because
Right.
if I know from others, it's gonna be bad for you. But it was always something. We do not lie in this house.
Okay.
that's good.
So there was something really
Did-
strong.
Did she live on her own or with her parents or with you or?
Oh, when we came back, when she split up, at the beginning we were living with our grandparents. Then we went living just me, her, and my sister.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Did she marry again?
after that, when I was 8,
Oh, great.
she didn't get married, just move in
Oh, yeah.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I had two older brothers,
Oh,
sons of
cool.
the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when she started having all the problems and everything. So
They not.
she met him, and that guy, he used to drink and use drugs,
Oh wow.
and that's when she started.
Yeah. Okay. They're
Then-
not together anymore.
No. Long time ago. They stayed together for a year. And then after that, they split up, but my mom didn't stop.
Mm.
That's when my mom had start all the problems. And that's when I start living with my grandparents again. So my mom was
Oh, wow.
going in and out
Oh,
of
wow.
clinics
Wow.
until I was like 13, 14, something like that. And
And did
then
that
she
sort of-
went come live with me.
And is that where the fantasy of your dad will understand you? Is that sort of why you went down to be with him, or
Yeah.
just- Okay.
That's when I was 15. Things were so the pressure was so strong
Oh.
that I was the man. I needed to take care of my mom and everything. That eventually I said to him that I needed to go. It was just running away from the
Yeah,
pressure.
for sure.
Yeah, having to deal with everything that was happening.
And how much younger is your sister?
She's 4 years less than
Okay.
me, so,
So she
she wouldn't know. She wouldn't know at the time.
Okay.
We were trying to protect her, so she would stay a lot in my
Okay.
grandmother house, because my grandfather already died at this point.
So it's just your grandmother, you, and your sister.
Yes.
Wow. And so you were at the same school like until you were 14?
Nah, no, in that period, I have lived in 5 or 6 different cities around the Brazil.
Hey?
Yeah. I've
Yep.
been to Bahia. I've been to Roraima. I've been to
What about you?
small cities. I have lived in at least 6 or 7 different places in Brazil.
Between what age?
Between 8 and 18.
So your mum moved around a lot.
Yeah, it was always trying to get something for her to do and be better.
Oh, I
So
see.
she would, there's a little business here that we can go. So she would go and
Mm.
we would try. And
Who would organise that? Her mum or
we got more
Oh, okay.
family, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was always someone.
Yeah.
You can go to this small city, because you had this idea that in a small city will be harder to do wrong things, and everyone will know fast. So whenever we had an opportunity to go to a small city, we would go.
So it's not just it's moving away from the crap.
Yes,
Let's take
exactly.
her away. From,
Yeah, exactly.
away from the environment.
Everyone that she knows, everyone that she can
yeah.
do wrong stuff, Allah, let's go to. Then
So-
would go me and my mom, and if
your
it work
sister would
out,
stay.
it would stay with my grandmother.
Wow.
So I would go with my mom, and I would have to check on things. I would have to do shopping, groceries, everything. And then whenever my mom got really better, then my sister would come. It was always like that.
How old is your mum at this point?
My mom is 62. She's gonna go make 59. 59.
So for how long you were with your dad for a year?
Yeah,
So-
just a year.
So before your dad and after your dad, you were doing this for your
Yes. Since I was 25, 26. That's when my mom, she went to AA, Alcoholics
Oh, yeah,
Anonymous,
yeah,
and NA, Narcotics Anonymous.
Yeah.
And that's what, before that, we had to, how do I say, when I had to go to the judge and actually ask for an order that she needed to be locked in a clinic.
Oh wow.
Oh,
there's
wow.
that expression,
Yeah,
but I don't know
okay.
the English one. But I had to go to a judge, and the judge gave power to me so I could lock my mom up in a clinic. My sister at that
That's
point,
pretty heavy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
my sister at that point was already a lawyer, so she arranged everything.
Wow. Say it in Portuguese. So
Uh,
what you would say in Portuguese?
The word,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember now.
Oh,
It's like a court order
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
that she needs to be institutionalized.
Yeah.
Institutionalized.
yeah, institutionalized.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay.
And then,
But you were 25 then.
yeah, around 25.
Okay.
Around 25. That's
Wow.
when she had to go, and then she wanted to go out and she couldn't,
Yeah. Okay.
and that's when she got really mad at me and my sister.
For how long was she in there?
She stayed
Okay.
a year, and that's when she's actually in that clinic. She started going to AA and NA meetings,
Wow.
and that's when actually
Started to change.
everything changed.
Wow.
Wow.
She not now because of COVID, but she was traveling all over Brazil to give speeches in
Yeah.
NA and
Wow.
AA meetings. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So it
Massive
was
change.
yeah, yeah. It was really, really, really good for her. But
Would have been hard for you guys at the time, I imagine, but or not. You
my
were sort of
sister
at
was
the point.
struggling a lot more
Yeah.
because I was like, and that was something that God actually changed in my life. I was like, in a point that I was just like, just if you die, it's better.
Yeah.
It gives a lot less trouble.
Wow.
And it gets to a point where
A lot of
since I was
resentment.
8,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
so that was something that when I was here, when I came to Australia, I know God, that's not something good to have this inside of me. And I gave that testimony in the
Yeah.
first capella that I gave testimony. It was not on Broad Beach school, when we did on the surf club.
Oh,
We had to do on the surf
awesome.
club.
Yeah,
That's when
yeah.
I met Dan Pakia.
Oh, awesome.
I gave that testimony about how God in Australia changed that,
Wow.
how all the resentment and everything
Yeah.
went away. But it was really hard at the time. I just,
Sure.
if she dies, it's better.
So school was always changing. For
Oh,
you.
always changing. I have like two friends from
Wow.
when I was little.
Okay.
Otherwise, it was always changing.
So you wouldn't really invest into friendship
Nah.
because you're probably gonna move.
Mm,
That was
you don't
sort
think
of-
about it
No.
when you're a kid. You just leave it. But I wouldn't.
Wow.
I wouldn't.
So
After 18, yeah, I have a lot of
Sure.
friends after
Yeah,
18,
yeah.
but before that, only 2.
Yeah. So you were really the caregiver for your mum, just
Yep.
to make sure
Yep.
she's
I started working at 13 years. I
Wow.
had 13, so it was always. And whenever I wasn't working, my grandma would send money to me so I could, because I couldn't give money to my mom because
so
I
you
was
had to
always worried
manage-
about what she's gonna do with the money.
You had to manage the finances.
At 14.
Yeah. But it is a bad side in losing your childhood.
Sure.
So when I was 18, I remember like me being 18 and wanting to play like a little kid because I hadn't done before. But at the same time, it gives you maturity, I
Yeah,
would say.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And
And my sister needed because it was me and her.
it's funny. I threw a lot of my childhood away on doing what your mum was doing, so the opposite. And when I met Marsh and started to get my life right, the main reason why I love doing youth is playing the games, like getting my childhood back.
Yeah.
So it's the exact
Yeah,
same thing. So
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I love that, and I still do now. I
Yeah.
just have too much responsibility at the moment. I'll be
Yeah.
back. But yeah, so that's funny, man. But then the beauty of it is you're 18, and I guess for you was that you know how to do things. You know, while
Yeah.
all the people your age are learning how to shop,
Yeah.
learning how to be responsible.
I knew how to do it.
You're like, man, I've been shopping for my family since I was 14. Man,
And
that's crazy. Thinking about that now, like,
Yeah.
how does that make you feel? Thinking that you had to do that at 14.
It feels robbed.
Robbed.
Yeah, like.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's hard to see as a good thing. It's hard to see,
Yeah.
but at least for myself, I just rely on the word. Everything God do is good,
yeah.
even if I don't understand.
Yeah.
At that point, my sister needed. That's the thing that
Yeah.
my sister needed someone as a
Yeah.
role model that can be something. So I was at the point.
And I suppose at the time you didn't have a choice. You just
Oh,
you
yeah,
just-
yeah.
you just did it.
It wasn't a
Ah.
I don't want to
You
do
know,
that
so-
today. No. It was hard. Sometimes
Yeah.
it was really hard.
Wow. That's amazing. So then you go down to your dad's, you come up, you're independent, your mum's doing her thing, then you get work. You didn't finish school or you did finish?
I did finish
Okay.
school, start university,
Okay.
What,
but
were you-
I never enjoy studying.
Right.
Never.
what did you start studying?
I did 5 different courses in Brazil.
Testing.
Never finish any of them.
Really?
Never. Yeah. Always changing. That's not me.
Yeah.
Changing.
Okay.
Almost finish accounting.
Oh, yeah.
It was missing like a year,
Oh,
but I didn't.
wow.
I started working, had my own business. Things were going really great.
What
so
did you
I
do
had to choose.
business-wise?
I had a cell phone store.
Right.
Like you sell mobile cases, screen
Yeah,
protectors,
yeah.
chargers,
Oh, cool.
phones, and everything. Yeah.
Fix the screens,
Exactly.
glass on the
So
screens,
in
whatever.
business were growing up. So I bought 1 store, 2nd store, 3 stores. Things were going really great, and I didn't have time anymore, and I was making a lot of money. So between studying and making money, I went to making money.
And party.
No, I wasn't
No?
a party. Since I was 17, I started dating,
Oh, yeah.
and I had the same girlfriend for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Never been to party. I never drink because
Well,
of the whole
yeah.
mom thing.
Yeah.
I never even try any kind of
Yeah.
alcohol,
Wow,
drugs, or
great.
smoking. So I was always afraid to start and never stop like
Yeah.
she did.
Because
So
you saw her start.
Yes,
Before that, she was like, "You're honest. You do the right thing."
yeah, exactly.
And then she started, and then so you don't want to start. Well, who wants to start?
So I was always afraid that I had
Wow.
the thing inside of me that if I start, I wouldn't stop. So
Mm.
I never was a guy to go nightclubs, go crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, never. So I
Wow.
started dating. I was always every weekend with the girlfriend,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
And was she older, same age, younger?
younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Like,
you had the money, right? So-
yeah, I had the money, so we would actually work like 9-10 months and have a trip, go to
Awesome.
United States, stay a month there, and come back, work for another year, go another month.
Wow.
That was from 18 to 20 growing
That's-
up,
was like that.
20 to 25 just making money to go stay a month doing nothing at all
Wow.
in some place. Yeah.
What's favorite place? Okay, just
Oh, United States. Been there
yeah.
many
Where about?
times.
But any particular part?
If I could choose, I would say that I really enjoy being in Los Angeles.
Okay.
It was really, really cool. I stayed in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
There was like, it didn't have hotels or tourism. It was locals. It was really good. I went have coffee in a coffee place that it's everyone looking at me because I was the only stranger one there. Everyone knew each other.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was like,
okay.
everyone looking at me. And I was feeling like, oh, what's happening here? But it was awesome.
Could you
was-
speak English then as well?
Oh,
or-
yeah. That was
Okay.
the first time that I thought, I don't want to be in Brazil anymore.
Oh wow.
I want to go away. When I came to Australia, the first idea was to go to United States. I didn't went there because I couldn't work. That's
Oh,
why I choose
okay.
Australia.
So you can go to America only visiting, only
No,
tourists.
you can go study and do anything you want, but you cannot work. You don't have work rights.
Wow. Okay.
That's why I actually end up coming here.
Have you been to like Canada and
No, not Canada.
okay,
Never
so
had the
other
the
South
cold
America,
thing.
like,
Cold thing, yeah.
like Chile and
I've been to Paraguay and Argentina.
okay?
So I've been to that too, United States, and that's it, in Australia. now.
You would, I'll tell you, you'll like Europe. America's awesome.
Yeah.
Europe's next level, I reckon.
Yeah, America's not America anymore.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
We're talking about 10 years
Yeah.
ago, so
Yeah,
it was great at the time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow. So then you're still not conscious of God, or just he's just
Nah.
he's just something you turn up to church every now and then.
Amazing when that girlfriend that I told you about it, when I wanted to split up with her, because I had the wedding, everything set up, and we split up. When I was splitting up from her, one of the guys who worked with me in the cell phone store, out of nowhere, and he didn't know anything, he came to her and gave her a Bible.
Oh,
Out of
wow.
nowhere. He just said to her, I don't know why, God just told me to give you this. It's amazing, man. When I look back, I was like, and he told me, the work of the devil is always to trying to stop marriages, family. He will always try to stop this kind of thing, because that's what he doesn't want to see, that kind of thing, because it's a plan of God in man's life. Even if you're not a Christian, he was speaking to me. He was a Christian, but he was telling me, even if you're not a Christian, getting married is universal. Doesn't matter which religion. It's something that God put into man.
Yeah, nice.
And that's devil's work. I remember that clearly. So when I look back, I saw God calling me a lot of times, but I wasn't. It's blind. You can't see, man. Without Holy Spirit opening up
Yeah.
in your eyes, it's impossible.
So this guy worked for you.
Yeah. We work together.
So he worked for you,
We're good friends, really good. Yeah.
but he wasn't like pushy. Or
No, not
okay.
at all. Not
just
at
a
all.
lovely man.
Yeah.
And then so one day he brings
Out
a
of nowhere.
Bible.
Yeah.
To give to your
To her.
girlfriend.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Because she told me, Clayton just gave me a Bible today. And I was like, yeah, he's a Christian.
That's
Yeah.
what,
He's a Christian. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
So Christian, Catholic.
Really? No. Like us.
Yeah. But
Yeah, like us.
So there was a big difference in your mind between.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, big difference. Especially in Brazil, big difference. Catholic and Protestants. Oh, it's almost like a fight.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
happens around the world. That.
Yeah.
I know, but things. At least here, I never saw a Catholic or Protestant like arguing or
Nah.
anything. Not at all. In Brazil, you're gonna see arguing. You're gonna see people actually getting mad at each other.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hard.
So he intercepts with the Bible. Did that shift a lot, or did
Not
that
at this point,
Okay.
but it was something that it caught my attention. I don't forget at all. It's always in there. But when my dad died, it was out of nowhere. My dad was okay. He was a healthy man, all good, into doing good things, right things. So kind of in the word, not in a Christian sense, a right person. He just out of nowhere had a problem and died,
Wow.
like really fast. So that caught me like I was not prepared at all.
Yeah.
It was a surprise. And it was the first time in my life that I felt like I was not ready to something. Everything else, because of everything that I had
Sure.
to deal with, I was, okay, if my mom died, I'm going to do this. If my sister died, I'm going to do this. If my grandmother died, if I die, my sister would have to do this. But because my dad was far away, he lived far, and we didn't have this close relationship, I wasn't even thinking about it. So when he died, it was really surprising. Before he died, the days that he was hospitalized, like he was in the CTI, intensive care.
Yeah.
Intensive care.
Yep.
He was in intensive care. So it was like 20 days in intensive care. That 20 days, I went to churches, pastors, pray, and you just hang on to anything that you have.
Wow.
And that point, that's where I see like God really showing me that I was not in control and there was something really, really more powerful happening in my life. From that moment on, things start changing.
Okay. Wow. How old are you now?
35 now.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay. So you're with this girl for 10 years
Yes.
till you're about 27.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yep.
And then you're still in Brazil?
Still in Brazil. I became a Christian, I don't remember the year, but I think 3 or 4 years before I came.
Okay.
That's when my dad died. A year later, I split up. A lot of things happened in that between.
So how old were you when your dad died?
25.
25.
25, I think it was
Wow.
25, 26, around that, yeah.
And your workmate had given your girlfriend a
After my dad died.
Oh, after your
So
dad
yeah, I
died.
split up a year after my dad died, I think.
Wow.
Maybe a year after. So
Wow.
in that between, that happened, and a lot of things start happening. And when I look back, it was, God was
Yeah.
trying at least to caught my attention because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was completely blind.
So when you say were you going to all the churches to pray, pastors and all that? Was this before your father died?
Before
or
he died, yeah, he was intensive care, 20 days, hoping for a miracle, you know?
And then what happened after? Did you stop going to the pastors? And
No, I didn't went back to the church,
Oh, yeah.
but, and I had this feeling. That I wasn't right because when I needed, I was going to the church to ask something to God. But when I didn't need it, I wasn't there anymore. So I had this feeling, that ungrateful feeling. Oh, you're so ungrateful. You go there when you need, but you don't do anything. So it was something that really, that's when I start questioning, okay, what I am here for.
Yeah, wow.
Why am I into this world?
Yeah, wow.
What I'm doing here?
Yeah.
There's no meaning. Okay, I make money, I
Sure.
go, I travel, but something was missing. And that's when the search starts. So I went to Spiritism, anything kind of religions in a good way, not in a sense of bad religions, because you have like, all are bad, but like the ones that deal with devil, demon.
You're not going to Satan worship.
Yeah, exactly. So I went there, searching for something, looking for something.
Yeah.
I went there until I stopped looking because I wasn't fine, and eventually I went to a connect group that happened in a church that was gonna start it, and that day
in Brazil.
that day, Holy Spirit just out of nowhere, the guy starts preaching out of nowhere. He's preaching normally, nothing special or anything. He starts preaching and start crying. From that day on, now that's
Wow.
it changed. That second changed everything.
How old were you then?
27, 26
Wow.
to 27, around that. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was powerful. Then I start understand a lot of things. Then it start
So,
all the questioning. Why
You know,
that? Why that?
spiritualist. Maybe did you go like Buddhist, all that sort
Yeah,
of stuff?
try all
Yeah.
the.
So, but then, sort of, did Christianity sort of take you by surprise, or you're just
Yeah.
just there, just
Took by surprise because I had an uncle who became Protestant, but he was going to a church that was really strict. The ones that
Okay.
you cannot cut your hair, women cannot use pants, they can only use skirts.
Wow.
Like really, really
Wow.
into a lot of things in the Old Testament. So no tattoos, no nothing. But he was really strict. So anytime that you would go to him and talk to him, it was like, that's sin, that's the devil, and it was really pushing. I would say, oh, that's not a religion. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And my grandmother died. She died with 90 years old.
Wow.
She was, a 90 years old. It's a person who never done anything wrong. I didn't see, because she was really old and sweet, and she was, and I would question him. Okay, but in your religion, our grandmother died, and she was Catholic. Is she going to hell? And he said to me, yes. And I was like, in my mind,
Wow.
he was just converted. So see,
yeah.
he had 2-3 months of going to the services and everything. But in my mind, that would be something completely away from God.
Yeah.
That's not God at all. So I was like very far away from Christianity
Right.
because of that.
Of
It's
course.
amazing how what people say to you
Pushes you away.
pushes away. I only went to that connect group because a friend actually, let's go. And okay, let's go. I was she was
so you thought this connect group was like your
Yeah,
uncle,
she had already explained to me that it wasn't the same thing,
Okay.
because I had already questioned her. Oh no, but my uncle like this. But even you had this feeling of nah. But when I went there, it was amazing. It changed everything.
So you went there with like, I don't really want to be here. You sort of.
I
had
went there
that
because I wanted
attitude.
her.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Chasing tail,
Yeah. That's why I
Wow.
went there.
flirt to convert.
Yeah.
That was her.
That's what we teach at chapel.
And she invited me because she want to get married. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
she's married. It's all
Sure.
good. But we are good friends. We
Sure.
don't have a problem. But at the point, she was just
So you go
yeah.
along, just okay,
Yeah.
and then sit here, and then bam.
out of nowhere. I was standing up and just start crying, and she was with her mother, and I was trying not to show, because there was the third time in my life that I cry in public.
Wow.
Oh,
But
I
you
was
c-
like really trying to. No, I'm not
Wow.
crying. I'm not crying. Just trying to not show that I was crying, but I couldn't. I went from there to my house in the car crying, and I couldn't stop crying for at least a day.
Wow.
That was powerful.
You knew without a
Oh,
doubt.
that moment, everything makes sense.
Wow.
So I came back to that old girlfriend. I know what was missing in our life. I know
Wow.
exactly what we need to do. Now I know everything. I understand why he gave you
Know
the Bible.
Now you know everything.
Exactly. Now I know everything. Yeah. Yeah.
And so did you
One
two
ex-
try and get back together?
We did, but it was out of emotion. Like
Yeah,
I
of
was like,
course.
let's try, and eventually she started to party a little bit. So she was partying, and I was actually in that transition of I'm becoming a Christian. I need to stop going on dates with women and everything. It was really hard to understand everything. So I was questioning the Bible. Why I cannot do that? Why I cannot do that? Why I need to give my money? Why? Then I don't know why, but I got this feeling. I'll pray to God. I'll pray and ask him if it's that what he wants, to get married with her and everything. And I pray, and God say no. And it's hard, because when you say Like I pray, God say exactly no 3 times. How do you explain that to someone that is not a Christian?
Yeah.
I don't want to get married with you because God told me not to get married with you. Man, the only question that she did was, okay, what kind of God is that two people that are in love and wants to get married and be the rest of their life together, and he says no?
Yeah.
At this point, I was like, I didn't have an answer. It was really hard. That would be at that point was really hard to say no. I really wanted. Was the first time that I experienced like saying no to what I wanted and saying yes to what God showed me. There was a weekend crying, just, I'm not going to be a Christian anymore. No, that's enough. That's it. But I had this conviction and I kept going. And
Confusing.
Here I am.
And
Wow.
a lot of things happen. It's amazing.
So then that would have been hard. And then you're pursuing the Lord?
Yes.
Just truth, Bible.
Yeah, that fire.
Study,
It didn't stop. Yeah. I need to know more. So I was studying. I never enjoyed studying. And when I start studying about the Bible, exactly. It was that. About the Bible, I love it. So when people come to me, oh, did you read that book? Nah, I just read the Bible. Oh, but that book is when I know the Bible, like from the beginning to the end, everything, I'll start worrying about other books. Yeah. That was really that feeling at that time. And I'm here studying again, doing Bible college and everything. But back in Brazil, I did like at least 20 to 30 different courses about the Bible. Wow. Anything that it shows, there's a weekend of that kind of study about that book, I was there.
Wow.
I was
so you're just on this real sort of making up for lost time almost.
Yes. Wow. The first 2 years, I was working. Work was really slow, but I was still making money. So I had a lot of time. So I was like every day reading the Bible. Awesome. So the first 2 years were like really deep.
So how long have you been in Australia now?
3 years and a half.
Wow, that's not that long.
No.
Feels longer.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So you were in your 30s when you came over here? 32, 31?
Yeah, I was 31, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
31 to 32. I got here in November 2017.
And the reason coming here?
To get to America.
That church, it was, but that church that I went to the Connect group and that I started crying, when they actually started the church, because it was still a Connect group, when they started the church is a full missionary church. So it's all about preparing people and sending away.
Yeah.
When I started there, the pastor, who's a really good friend, and you heard me talking about him a lot of time. You know, my pastor, yeah. So when he started the church, he had a huge word map in the back of the church, and he asked for we had like maybe 30 people there. At the beginning, 30 people who was actually going all the time. He asked each one of us to write their names in a cross and put in the country that we want to go and preach the gospel. And I was like, I'm definitely going to the United States, right? Because I love it.
Make some notes.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, United States. I'm definitely going to go to United States. And I was like, but I've been there so many times. Maybe I go to another place. And I'm thinking, maybe England, because I know how to speak English. So, okay, Canada. I put my cross there. Stay in that church. That lady that I went with the Connect group, things went a little bad. Went out of the church. Went to maybe 4 or 5 different churches until I found one. Start going to that church. 3 or 4 years later, when everything happened about coming to Australia and everything was done, I went there to talk to that pastor.
Oh, yeah.
To tell him, I'm going to go to Australia and that's happening. This is happening in my life. My mom was really good. My sister had her law degree, so I didn't have anything tying me up in Brazil anymore. It was impossible to think of getting away from Brazil when I first became a Christian, because there was my mom, my sister.
Sure.
And I went there, and as I'm passing through the map, I got my cross here, and I came back. Where's my cross? And I'm looking, United States, Canada, I'm looking. I only find it in Australia. I didn't remember that I had put in Australia.
4 years later, 3 years later.
Wow. I was like, when I saw the cross, I was like, whoa, and I went there. I got to tell you something. Remember that day? And I put it in Australia. And I'm going to Australia next month.
Wow.
It was really,
How
and
awesome is
I was
that?
like,
so good.
God knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Had everything ready.
Wow.
So
Mm.
the passage that says that he did
All the
already
steps.
all the steps and all the work, the good work that you're gonna do, he's already prepared for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, and I knew something was happening here,
Wow.
and it can't say that it didn't happen. A lot of things happen here. So
a lot,
Ooh.
a lot of
A lot.
different culture.
oh yeah. But in a sense of building my
Growing and
character and
developing,
yeah,
yeah.
developing, it's amazing.
Wow.
Everything that happened here, it's amazing. So that church was actually the start of a long journey.
Yeah,
I still talk to him.
Sure.
We're still good friends. Whenever I go there, I go to his house,
Yeah.
and he talks to my mom. So he actually became a really good friends of family. But it was amazing how God
Wow.
got to that point.
I've never heard.
wow,
I
man.
never heard that
No,
cross
No,
story.
that
neither
was-
have
That cross story is awesome.
That
I
was
love that.
coming to Australia was really God preparing everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't, and even to come to Australia, even if you are in Brazil, you need to prove that you are able to stay here and
Sup-
having money, support yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta prove that you have a lot of things in Brazil to go back. So they ask you to put, oh, why you want to go to Australia? Ah, you want to study. Why? Ah, because it's gonna be good for my resume, and when I come back, I'm gonna have a better job and everything.
Mm.
So, and I didn't have college. I didn't have anything in my name. I didn't have nothing that really holds me back in Brazil. And then when I was doing the letter, and I did, I don't know, I just have this feeling that God wants me to go. I put that in the letter, and the guy who sells the all the
That's
packages,
crazy.
he was like, you can't do that. Oh, man, if they say no, that's all good. I'm sure that God wants me to go there. You can send it. It was that happened here too. You know Paloma from
Yes.
Presence?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she works here. So when I did my first renewal of the visa here, I put it there. You know, as I put in my last letter, God had something here, and that happened. We started a connect group, and that happened, and that happened. I put all of that in the letter. And she was like, you can't send that. Oh, I'm going to send that. But they're going to deny. I don't mind if they deny. That's the truth.
That's
And
the
it,
truth.
that
That's
was
awesome,
that
man.
was when I did now for the Bible college. Oh, no.
Go-
Remember all the
Yeah,
two
yeah,
letters?
Yeah.
So the path is going. I'm still in Bible college, and that was amazing.
Far out, man. Wow. And so to wrap it up,
Yeah.
where are we? Where are we now? What's some amazing things that are happening now? Where are you heading?
Well, I don't know about the I mean in ministry life. I have no idea where it's going now. Things are I think from the last year I took a lot of steps back. So, but in a personal life, in that sense, so beginning of the year I got married.
Wow.
Now we got a baby coming.
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Sounds like ministry life's busy, mate.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It feels like it's harder than the before.
Oh,
Before with 15 in the house was easier than now with just the wife and a baby coming.
Yeah, yeah.
It's amazing how they can give a lot more trouble. But
Yeah.
it's a blessing. I'm joking, but it's a blessing. A life
awesome.
coming in, it's always
oh
amazing.
man,
so
come on. That's amazing.
so
Yeah.
now that's what's happening. I don't know about professional or anything else. Things are still like, I know that I'm in a place that things are going to change.
Sure.
I can see clearly that things are going to change,
Yeah.
but I don't know where yet. It's
Yeah.
just, God, do whatever you want and just help, because there's now 2 lives here that
Yeah, that's it.
I got to take care. Yeah. But it has been an amazing journey. Everything that happened since the beginning here, it's just, now the feeling is, thank you, Lord. The ungrateful feeling from the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
Wow.
grateful feeling all the time. I don't deserve it, everything that I have and everything that happened. It's just the grateful thing all the time. Think, oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Just every day, just thank you, because it's impossible to not recognize the good of God in our lives.
It's awesome. I think
Yes.
it's been 3.5 years, you say here?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've changed a lot. I've seen you change a lot.
Mm.
And
I hope.
Yeah. It's been awesome, mate. I've always had a little thing in my heart for you, just love for you, and I
So good.
yeah, I love you being a part of our community, seeing your life just grow in ways that you didn't expect,
Oh,
which we
definitely not.
which we can't expect. It just God's so gracious, and you have a beautiful wife,
Yes.
and we're praying for everything for you guys in this season, provision and health and all that. So yeah. Oh, thanks for coming along and sharing it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I got it.
Wow.
I'm the one who needs to say thank you, right? Because
It's
everything
awesome,
that
man.
Chapel provides us, for everyone who actually wants to invest their life in it,
Sure.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
The Chapel family and the way you guys do church, and now we guys do church, it's amazing. It's a life-changing experience.
That's cool.
More than once I have said to people, it's like living Acts 29.
Yeah, great.
It's amazing.
Love that.
And the key is what you said though. For everyone who wants to,
Yeah.
you know,
If you want, you can.
if you want, unlimited. And like, look what you're doing now. And I'm just
Amazing.
like, man, you're like, my ministry, I've taken a step back. It's funny because
Yep.
what you're doing now, the journey that you're on now, your wife, your soon-to-be child is
Much bigger.
number
Yeah,
one.
much
And
bigger. Yeah,
oh man, and the rewards are instant, and it just it's
So
so,
exciting,
good.
eh?
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so exciting,
Yeah.
man. And you've done so much for the community
Yeah.
here. You're an
Massive.
amazing man, and
Yeah.
you're only gonna be blessed more
Yeah.
and be a blessing to others, and it's awesome, man.
I've always loved your desire to serve and help and
Oh,
gather and bring, and it's
Yeah.
it's really good, man.
It
relentless.
burns inside. It's
Yeah.
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 And you can see
It
that.
doesn't come from me.
Yeah.
If I could choose, I would hit people. People are really annoying, so I
Hey.
can't hit people. So God just put this love about
You can try, man.
Nah, we
awesome,
appreciate
man.
your time.
Yeah, it's so
Thank
good you
you.
coming in. Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you for the invite. Always a pleasure.
Great.